Hey everyone, it's Types, and today I have some super cool news to talk about that is not Paladin Phase related. I was like, oh, can I do Paladin Phase content? And I was like, no, this sounds bad. So, I am running a Pokemon tournament. I think I've talked about this some. I'm sure some of you are sick of hearing about it, but I am running it, and it'll actually be later today. It'll be in around 2 hours of this video releasing, although I believe you should be able to join in late. And it is in a it's in standard, but it's with a special rule called mutant evolution instead of regular evolution. So pretty much it's and the full rules are on the tournament page, which will be linked down below in the pinned comment. And hopefully, if I forget, tell me. It'll also be probably in the description. But what you can do is any non-rule box basic can evolve into a stage one or stage two of that same type. And non-rule box stage one can evolve into a stage two of that same type. So I'll run through some decks as well that showcase it. These are, and it's going to be played on the Pokemon TCG Simulator, which is not that hard to use. There are a few weird things, and during the tournament, you can always just ask me. I will actually be live streaming the tournament in, I think it's like when the tournament's happening. I'll be live streaming it. It might actually be earlier. I might start live streaming before. It's not going to be like the smoothest live stream because I will be running the tournament as well. So I'll have to be doing that. But I will be spectating the games as well. I'm overall super excited for that. The simulator is working pretty well. I ran a tournament last time. Like last time I ran a tournament on the simulator, it was a little. There were some issues, but those issues for the most part have been ironed out. It's like improving, right? Live has not been improving, but the simulator has, which is really cool. And that's I think has the I don't know if I'd say it has the potential to pass live. That's an extremely bold, like crazy thing to do. But it's like looking up, right? Like Twin Leaf looked cool, but then we didn't see a lot out of it. Anyway, I'm getting all sidetracked because this isn't about the simulator. This is about the format. This is Mutant standard, so same exact card pool as standard. Same deck building rules. One thing, if you have Charizard, here we go. I got a Charizard list. This doesn't really work. Don't play Charizard. Well, you can play Charizard. Just don't play it with Charmander because it's a fire Pokemon, and Charizard DX is a Darkness but type Pokemon, which the type is Darkness, not Dark. For those of you who don't know that, most people just call it Dark though because it's shorter. But yeah, Charizard's Darkness type, a Dark type. So it can't evolve from Charmeleon or a Charmander. But I don't know if I have a list. I previously had a list when I was showing it off. It was like a Charizard, but with like some dark stuff. So that's kind of cool. And you got some really interesting ideas and really powerful decks. The format, is it good? Maybe not. It's kind of silly though, and I think it'll be fun for those of you who want to like play in it. You don't have to play in the tournament. You can just go into my Discord server, which might be linked down below. It's on my channel, linked like up top somewhere. It's really hard. It used to be easy because there was like an about page, but I think it should be somewhere in like my banner. There's like a Discord link. I don't know. YouTube's been doing some weird stuff. But anyway, you can play games in that or in the simulator Discord. It's super cool. But yeah, and the format, as I said, you can evolve. These decks, I don't own all the cards, and also Live doesn't like sort the cards like at all. Like even in regular decks, they sort them super well. But in this case, this list is a it's darkness. It doesn't your list doesn't have to be monotype. This list isn't monotype, but in some sense, there's like some cool stuff for it being monotype. Pokemon's like Squawkabilly EX cannot evolve because it's a rule box of basic, um, but it's still good, I guess. So these lists aren't great, but you can play these lists if you want in the tournament. You can just ask me through Discord or on YouTube if you're like, yeah, I want to play in the tournament. Or I just want to play one of these lists, and yeah, you can just ask and I'll pop it there. But Squawkabilly is nice. Squawkabilly is really good for these like kind of turbo decks, which a lot of them are. First of all, there are two different things. Oh, and then Pokemon Vs. Basic Pokemon Vs evolve into Pokemon V Stars or V Maxes of the same type. So we have Tyranitar V and Umbreon V. This list might need more Vs. No, I think it's fine. Um, but so you have these two Tyranitar Vs and Umbreon V, which are single strike, which evolve into Gengar V Max, which is a very solid V Max. Beyond VMAX also having the ability to gust, it's super good and a decent attack. And then Darkrai V-Star with a very solid V-Star power. Obviously, if you evolve it's not single strike, right? So that means if you evolve the Tyranitar V or whatever, the Umbreon V, they're both single strike into this Darkrai V-Star, and it has something that can only be on single strike Pokemon, which is just a special energy. It will be discarded, so don't do that. But yeah, you can also attack with Darkrai V-Star, but it's not particularly impressive. The V-Star power is like super good though, I think. I don't know. I didn't know about it in this deck, but I figured it was a cool addition. Then we also have the single prize Dark Pokemon. Of course, we have Houndoom, single strike for accelerating single strike energy to your single strike Pokemon, which is a very good energy. It's dark fighting, and it does more damage. You do more damage, it damages you as well, unfortunately. But then we have a wide variety of attackers. Seviper, Yveltal, and Morpeko, which conveniently all evolve into Houndoom, which is really cool, meaning that your attacker evolves into your engine or something like that. Can be the other way around. And then we have Liepard and Hisuian Samurott. Hisuian Samurott, discard 1, draw 3. Liepard, discard 1, draw 2. Hisuian Samurott also has a usable attack, but not a great one. Trainer stuff's pretty normal. Energy stuff's also pretty normal. Lists are not the best. I'm not the best deck builder. I'm not a bad deck builder, but I'm not great either. So that's just a simple deck with like a very one like idea. It's Dark Single Strike, and that's it. Next up, we got ourselves a colorless. Oh, these are just some colorless ideas I was checking around. So you can evolve. There's some other cards as well. There's a Fiero. I don't know. Do I have a list with a Fiero in it? Um, Let's see. Oh yeah, this list has Fearow, so we'll look at that in a second. But you do have like Archeops, you have Bibarel, you have Pidgeot. Bibarel evolves into Pidgeot, which is really cool. You have Oinkologne and Wigglytuff, which are cool. And then you have Eevee. This Eevee is really cool. It says, once during your turn when you play a Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your other Eevee, you may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it and shuffle your deck. So if you evolve one of your other Pokemon, you can also evolve Eevee. And Eevee evolves into a wide variety of things, including Bibarel, Dodrio, Wigglytuff, Oinkologne. It does not evolve directly into Pidgeot, but you kind of, like Rare can get into that eventually. There's some other colorless Pokemon. There's also Kecleon. I'll talk about, I guess. It's really weird. So it does Chroma Shift. This Pokemon is the same type, same basic energy attached to it. Keep in mind, if you attach a fire energy, a basic fire energy to it, it is now no longer colorless, so just something to keep in mind. But yeah, it can evolve assuming you have a basic fire and its ability is on. If its ability is turned off for whatever reason, it will not evolve into, well, it won't change types. You can't evolve into that other type. But you can attach like a basic fire energy to evolve into Flareon, for example. I don't think there are any particularly good Flareons. If you want to, you could do that. Next up, and there are some other dual type Pokemon which all function the same way. Let's see, what are these? These decks are like some weird stuff here. Next up, we got a control deck. I'd rather you not play this in the tournament because it's kind of gonna take a really long time. But yeah, so you got Pidgeot V, which evolves into Lugia V-Star. Colorless is a stacked type. The Lugia V-Star is fine. I mean, it's good, but it's not the most broken card because you can get your Stage 2 Colorless Pokemon into play, not super easily, but with relative ease. Oh, and also in terms of rulings for this format, I'm technically making up the rulings if there's any weird stuff, but I'm doing my best to follow what would make logical sense based on Pokemon's like rulings. So anyway, that's something to do with the Kecleon, which I said earlier, and the Spear, which we'll talk about in a second. But for control, of course, we got Block Snorlax. So Block Snorlax, you know what it does, probably. If you don't, I won't. I will not divulge it to you so you can sleep peacefully tonight. But it's control. And then Spearow here is a really interesting basic Pokemon. If you go second, this Pokemon can evolve during your first turn. Really interesting ability here. There are some Pokemon with similar abilities, but this means that you can just play it down and then evolve it. There are some Pokemon like something. Here we go. I found it. No, yeah, there we go. Adaptive Evolution. You can evolve this Pokemon during your first turn or the turn you play it. This is better because you can evolve at any turn. Honestly, I kind of thought that the Fearow was you can evolve at any turn. It's not. You can evolve it during the first turn, which is quite useful. I mean, you can get into your stage 1s earlier, including Pelipper. Pelipper is a really interesting stage 1 that to me I think is like super cool and underused in standard. I don't think it's a great Pokemon in standard, like regular standard, but it's cool. Here, say it's either search your deck for a support and put it into your hand, or recover a supporter from your discard into your hand. Potentially super useful. Then we also got Bibarel. Bibarel is a really cool Pokemon. I think most of you know this. And Pidgeot EX as well. 2 engine cards that are quite good. And then we also got Ursa Luna. Yeah. So Peak Hunt put up to 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand, which is really useful and it's an insanely good attack for control. And then in terms of this deck, you got normal control stuff. You got Hammers, Misfortune Sisters, Luxurious Cape. You can Cheryl and Life Recover and loop that way. And you got some just good control stuff. Lastly, we got Grass. I mentioned the Spupa and Scatterbug. Um, so let's open this up. Um, this is, or yeah, this is just a straight grass list. I'll actually come back to that in a second. But this is a grass. This is a shift tree list. So Spupa Scatterbug can just evolve instantly, which is super good. This one's Pidgeot V for 4 Sealstone, but was it run 3 4 Sealstone? I'm not sure. It does apparently. But anyway, shift tree, which in my opinion, super goofy looking Pokemon. Like, why is it shins like its whole body? Anyway, Fan Tornado is not that good, but Tearing Gust is really interesting. 210 for grass. Oh, I know what it is for 3 4 Sealstone. Tearing Gust 210 for 1 grass, which is insane, especially when you can do this turn one going second. And then you can use Shift Tree to evolve. One thing I want to say, Spearow, you can't rare candy. Into a stage 2 on that first turn. Oh, I mean, yeah, you can, because Rare Candy says you can't evolve a Pokemon the turn it was put into play, not because they're ruling on Spearow, but because of the wording on Rare Candy. Anyway, shift and same thing for Shiftry into from Scatterbug into Spupa into Shiftry. You can't Rare Candy Scatterbug into Shiftry the turn it was put into play. Matutan for 1 is obviously really good. You lost on all the cards attached, which in some sense is really bad because it's left, it's gone. But in the same sense, it's also kind of good. So it powers up your Lost Zone. And so this list runs Colorless Experiment, Lost Vacuum, you can Lost Vacuum Force Healstone, Shift to yourself as well. So you have the 3 Pokemon and the energy. This list runs obviously energy to power it up. And then you lost on those, so that's 4. You can Colorless Experiment, attack in, that's 10. 10 is enough to attack with Sableye that lost mine. Put 12 damage cards on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. Can make good use of Luminous Energy. Overall, really interesting here, I think, but very straightforward. Also, it may seem like, isn't it overpowered that you can evolve your Pokemon instantly? Grass isn't the best, but it's not that bad. And this is a straight grass list, which shows that off even better. First of all, Scyther as a basic is actually pretty decent. Free retreat, 70 HP. Its attack is not useless. It's not that good, though. In terms of engines, Grass is kind of lacking. You do have Beautifly once during your turn. You may draw until you have 6 cards in hand. And Grottle is once during a turn, you may search deck for Grass Pokemon and reveal it put into your hand. Both these are super good. Grottle obviously doesn't it's not exactly an engine, but it will help you get set up. And we also have Shift Tree as well. This is still a Shift Tree list. We have Venomoth, which item locks and confuses. It's a very good card, kind of annoying. I wonder if people are going to run this. There are some pretty decent control, pseudo control stuff. Beedrill, insta-kill Pokemon special energy, or 110 for 1, and you don't loss on yourself, can be really good. Or pretty good. And then we have Skiploom as well here, which is interesting. Solar Evolution. When you attach energy from your hand to this Pokemon, when you attach it, yeah, you may search your deck for a card that evolves from it and put it onto this Pokemon, or evolve it. It doesn't need to be it can be the turn it was put into play as well. So that's another Pokemon you can get into play, evolve instantly, and it searches out the Pokemon, which is really interesting. But yeah, I feel like Skiploom is super cool in this deck. Overall, it's super cool. Grass is kind of cool. A lot of the types are really good, except for fighting's not that good, I don't think. But there's some stuff there as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing and checking out the tournament and watching the live stream later and all that good stuff. And I hope you enjoyed. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.